start to feel like camp today, on a day like today when it's so hot and humid, and we're out here at Jervy?
Honestly, this camp has probably been my best camp, most exciting and most fun camp. Of course, my first camp, not knowing what's really going on. I didn't even know what Jervy was my freshman year. So my first camp, it was really tough, very treacherous. I was fighting an uphill battle my whole freshman year and sophomore year out here in fall camp. But now this year, the D-line, we're very cohesive. We love playing together. We love just being around each other. So regardless of where we're playing, Jervy, practice fields, or Memorial Stadium, or any stadium, we love the game. We love each other. So it's a fun time out here.
I guess what were your goals or the things you really wanted to improve on coming into this year?
And really staying a very consistent run stuffer and improving on being a more consistent pass rusher. Those main two things, and pre-snap reads, and really scouting the offensive line, really being a student of the game. Yeah, those are the three things that I really wanted to improve on.
I think Coach Hall said that there were like 3 or 4 sacks you just missed. Like you were just kind of this close to them,
yeah,
but you missed them. I mean, did you go through review those? I mean,
oh yeah, the game's on Saturday. I'm reviewing it Saturday night or Sunday morning. So I'm seeing it. I'm the biggest critic on myself more than anybody. So I already remember 2 sacks from NC State that I had the quarterback wrapped up, let him go. Yeah, those 2 I really dread, but always room to improve. So yeah.
I guess what's the key to finishing those plays?
Really effort, leverage, staying low, staying true to my technique. I know a lot of times when I get to the quarterback, I can kind of got a little lazy sometimes, and thought it was just a given. I got to the quarterback, he'll go down, but no, I got to finish the play.
Where's your confidence at going into this year?
Confidence is very high. Confidence has always been very high for myself, and as a D-line unit, as a defensive unit, and as a team, my confidence is very high. Confidence has always been high. It's going to stay there. I know what we need to improve on as a D-line unit, defense. So my confidence is always going to be up there.
What have you seen from some of the other guys on the defensive line and the defensive end, KJ, Henry, and Xavier in particular? What do you expect them to do this year?
Oh man, KJ's always been consistent, like mentally and physically. Physically, really KJ and XT and Max, they've all bought into the system, nutrition-wise. They've all really paying attention to what the stuff they eat, what they do hourly, and you really see the transition on their body type and their, what they do before practice, before a game. Like they really pay attention to all that stuff, and honestly, that me watching them, learning from them, and it kind of like spread around to the entire D-line. Everyone on the D-line is buying into what the coaches are saying, what the nutritionists are saying, what Coach Sweeney is saying on play style, preparing like a pro. That's our biggest thing, and you really see the outcome on the field.
Myles,
what's it mean to have a receiver back?
Oh, it means a lot. Yeah, me and Brian, of course, we've been connected since high school, so having Brian back, we've been talking back and forth, when you're gonna be good, when you're gonna be ready, how good are you, 75-85%. But now that I'm seeing him in fall camp, he looks phenomenal. Honestly, he looks great on the field, like his high school self, but bigger, stronger, faster, more in tune with the game, reading the backfield sets. It's in my opinion, just like perfect where he is now. Always room to improve, but where he is now, he's making those strides where he needs to be.
Myles, you were on the top freaks on the athletics list, and you can't look at a mock draft without seeing your name towards the top. Do you spend much time reading any of that stuff? Do you put much stock in outside opinions on your game?
No, not at all, because last year, in a lot of mock drafts, my dad was telling me this, Trayvon Walker was not even mentioned in a lot of the first round draft picks, and he was #1 overall. So a lot of those mock drafts, they can be right, but most of them are just incorrect for the fans, which it's cool to know that my name is up there at the top, but no, I do not pay much attention to those mock drafts. I kind of just stay with myself, keep a straight head. I never get a big head, so I'm really just spending time with my teammates and loving on them. Do what I got to do.
You mentioned pass rush. How much of with Coach Eason and a lot of his drills he does with hand technique and things like that. How much of a presence has he been and his expertise been for the entire group at trying to improve that area in your eyes?
It's been a huge improvement using his NFL knowledge and his expertise coming down. He's really is working on the little things, whether it be timing, hand placement, eyes, a lot of the stuff that people on the outside looking in don't see and don't really recognize that are very important, whether it's your footsteps, where my eyes are on the tackle's hands, how the tackle's set in. Like he's really teaching us the game and like making sure that we understand pass rushing and playing the run. So it's been great having him down here.
What's your impressions of Wes Goodwin so far, having seen him in camp now and spring and everything?
Well, I'm sure a lot of us have told you, but we've always been high on Wes. We've never questioned his knowledge. If anything, he's probably one of the smartest guys that I know. So yeah, I never really question what he says because I'm pretty sure he knows what he's talking about, knowing his experience down here in Clemson and his NFL experience with the Cardinals and whatnot. He's done a great job the entire spring and fall camp, and I expect nothing less, and I think he'll do a great job.
Do you see your role changing at all in his scheme, or close to the same? Or?
Nah. If anything, Wes he's a player's coach. He comes to us and asks us, what's the best way for me to call this call, or do you like this call? What are the type of calls that you like? Do you want to stay box? Do you want to go inside the tackle, stuff like that? So him asking us those questions brings us more respect for him. So no, I don't think my role necessarily will change, but let's go off of that.
Myles, such a great tradition of incredible defensive line play here at Clemson. How much do you cherish the responsibility of being part of that next group?
I mean, I love it. I'm talking to a lot of the older guys, Christian, AB, talking to some of them. They're really pouring into us, knowing that they're in the NFL, giving us knowledge, talking to Dex sometimes. It's really cool to have my name mentioned in that next big D-line group. I take a lot of respect to that, and I really try to play to that standard that every time I hit the field.
What's some of the advice those older guys have given you?
Don't get the big head. Don't let those outside distractions, get too big, because if you let those outside especially with NIL, if you let those outside distractions get too big, you can easily go down on the playing field. You go down in playing time and whatnot. So, stay where you are, stay in the now, win today. That's pretty much the biggest advice they give us.
Myles, what have you just seen out of a guy like Jaheim Lawson so far?
Very, very explosive. Working on his technique. Like coming from his high school to here, it's a big change. He'll probably say the same, technician-wise. He's a very athletic kid, but when it comes down to playing the run, it's really just small stuff. Really just small stuff, and that's a lot of us when we come straight from high school that we all need to work on. So yeah.
Are there any young guys on either side of the ball that have caught your eye, either defensive line or offensive line?
Oh man, if I had to go on the O-line, Blake Miller, Colin Sadler, both huge guys. No, they're very aggressive. They know how to block on the run. Very good on the run block. Still learning the pass block, but although they're still learning on the pass block, they're very good where they are now, and they're both making those huge strides to become that offensive lineman that they need to be. And D-line, Caden Story, during the W drill yesterday, he I didn't know what to expect, but he surprised me. Did a very good job going against O-lineman yesterday.
And Blake in particular, what's it like going up against him? I mean, he's a guy that's potentially could be a starting right tackle this year. It sounds like as a freshman. Just what have you seen out of him?
He's a player that can easily be coached. He loves to listen. He's not a big talker. He barely says anything on the field, but I'm the same way. I don't really say much on the field. He just does what he's supposed to do, does what he knows to do. And if you call him over, try to talk to him and coach him, he will come, he will listen, and he will take what you said and put it onto the field, put it on film. So he is a coach's player. He's a really good kid. So yeah, I expect a lot out of him.
You talked about NIL. Like, how do you handle that during the season? Do you just shut that down and not really take any deals, or do you let an agent handle that, or how do you figure that out?
I guess in my position, I'm very blessed to have parents that are right over my shoulder. So a lot of that stuff, I pass it on to them, and they handle it. So because of course I'm doing football, and then I'm in construction science. So with football in school, that's already a lot of my hands. So with that NIL coming in, like the outside distractions that I talked about, I try not to let that get too big and like pass that weight on to my parents and let them handle that during the season.
Is it meaningful money, I guess? Like, obviously you're not going to tell us how much you make from it, but I guess is it a meaningful amount, or kind of how would you describe what you're actually able to get?
I guess it's a moderate amount, enough to get by. Oh yeah, say that much.
Yeah. You talked about the freaks list. I think Bruce Feldman said you run a 4.5 40 or high 4.5s. Like, when's the last time you've been actually timed? Is it still around there?
Oh, for sure. It might even be faster, honestly. In high school, I was clocked at a clocked at a 4.53, 4.51, something like that. But haven't run a 40 since then. So we'll see. We'll see during the the combine, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, you said like not really looking at the mock drafts and stuff like that. But I mean, is there a sense this is an important season, knowing that people are looking at you and that could be around the corner?
Yeah, I guess so. Knowing that there's eyes on me, I try not to think about that too much because that can like bring up the nerves. But I just try to, like I said, stay within who I am. I know what I can do, and go day by day, training, focusing on my nutrition, focusing on practice, focusing on my teammates, and just going day by day. Don't let the outside distractions flood our ship, and just win the now, really.
I know you don't want to look too far ahead, but you mentioned those 2 sacks against NC State that still kind of bother you. Is that a game that you're really looking forward to whenever it does get here?
To be honest, I really have not thought about it that much. I'm really have my eyes set on the 2 scrimmages that we have the next few days in Georgia Tech, honestly. But now thinking about NC State, of course, it's probably going to be a good game. So, yeah, it will be a game that I will look forward to. But,
Not yet.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Any other questions?